Psalm 1. Blessed is the man who doesn't walk in the counsel of the wicked, nor stand on the path of sinners, nor sit in the seat of scoffers. But his delight is in the Lord's law. On his law he meditates day and night. He will be like a tree planted by the streams of water that produces its fruit in its season, whose leaf does not wither. Whatever he does shall prosper. The wicked are not so, but they are like chaff, which the wind drives away. Therefore, the wicked shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. Verse 6. For the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked shall perish. Why do the nations rage, and the peoples plot a vain thing? The kings of the earth take a stand, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Let's break their bonds apart and cast their cords from us. Verse 4. He who sits in the heavens will laugh. The Lord will have them in derision. Then he will speak to them in his anger and terrify them in his wrath. Verse 6. Yet I have set my king on my holy hill of Zion. I will tell of the decree. The Lord said to me, You are my son. Today I have become your father. Ask of me, and I will give you the nations for your inheritance, and the uttermost part of the earth for your possession. You shall break them like a rod of iron. You shall dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Verse 10. Now therefore be wise, you kings. Be instructed. You judges of the earth, serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. Give sincere homage to the Son, lest he be angry and you perish on your way. For his wrath will soon be kindled. Blessed are those who take refuge in him. Psalm 3. A psalm by David when he fled from Absalom, his son. Verse 1. Lord, how my adversaries have increased. Many are those who rise up against me. Many there are who say of my soul, there is no help for him in God. Selah. But you, Lord, are my shield around me, my glory, and the one who lifts up my head. I cry to the Lord with my voice, and he answers me out of his holy hill. Verse 5. I laid myself down and I slept. I awakened. For the Lord sustains me. I will not be afraid of the tens of thousands of people who have set themselves against me on every side. Arise, Lord, save me, my God, for you have struck all my enemies on the cheekbone. You have broken the teeth of the wicked. Verse 8. Salvation belongs to the Lord. May your blessing be upon your people. Selah. Psalm 4. For the chief musician, on stringed instruments, a psalm by David. Verse 1. Answer me when I call, God of my righteousness. Give me relief from my distress. Have mercy on me, and hear my prayer. You sons of men, how long shall my glory be turned into dishonor? Will you love vanity and seek after falsehood? Selah. But know that the Lord has set apart for himself who is godly. The Lord will hear when I call to him. Verse 4. Stand in awe and don't sin. Search your own heart on your bed and be still. Selah. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness. Put your trust in the Lord. Many say, who will show us any good? Lord, let the light of your face shine on us. You have put gladness in my heart, more than when their grain and when new wine was increased. Verse 8, in peace I will both lay myself down and sleep. For you alone, Lord, make me live in safety. Psalm 5, for the chief musician with the flutes, a psalm by David. Verse 1, give ear to my words, Lord. Consider my meditation. Listen to the voice of my cry, my King, my God, for I pray to you. Lord, in the morning you will hear my voice. In the morning I lay my request before you, and you watch expectantly. For you are not a God who has pleasure in wickedness. Evil can't live with you. Verse 5, the arrogant will not stand in your sight. You hate all workers of iniquity. You will destroy those who speak lies. The Lord abhors bloodthirsty and deceitful men. But as for me, in the abundance of your loving kindness, I will come into your house. I will bow towards your holy temple in reverence of you. Lead me, Lord, in your righteousness because of my enemies. Make your way straight before my face. Verse 9, for there is no faithfulness in their mouth. Their heart is destruction. Their throat is an open tomb. They flatter with their tongue. Verse 10, hold them guilty, God. Let them fall by their own counsels. Thrust them out in the multitude of their transgressions, for they have rebelled against you. Verse 11, let all those who take refuge in you rejoice. Let them always shout for joy because you defend them. Let them also who love your name be joyful in you, for you will bless the righteous. Lord, you will surround him with favor as with a shield. Psalm 6, for the chief musician on stringed instruments, upon the 8-stringed lyre, a psalm by David. Verse 1, Lord, don't rebuke me in your anger, neither discipline me in your wrath. Have mercy on me, Lord, for I am faint. Lord, heal me, for my bones are troubled. My soul is also in great anguish. But you, Lord, how long? Return, Lord, deliver my soul, and save me for your loving kindness' sake. Verse 5, for in death there is no memory of you. In Sheol, who shall give you thanks? I am weary with my groaning. Every night I flood my bed. I drench my couch with my tears. My eye wastes away because of grief. It grows old because of all my adversaries. Verse 8, depart from me, all you workers of iniquity, for the Lord has heard the voice of my weeping. Verse 9, the Lord has heard my supplication. The Lord accepts my prayer. May all your enemies be ashamed and dismayed. They shall turn back. They shall be disgraced suddenly. Psalm 7, a meditation by David, which he sang to the Lord concerning the words of the Cush, Benjamite. Lord my God, I take refuge in you. Save me from all those who pursue me and deliver me, lest they tear apart my soul like a lion, ripping it in pieces while there is no one to deliver. Lord my God, if I have done this, if there is iniquity in my hands, if I have rewarded evil to him who was at peace with me, yes, I have delivered him who without cause was my adversary. Let the enemy pursue my soul and overtake it. Yes, let him tread my life down to the earth and lay my glory in the dust. Stella. Arise, Lord, in your anger. Lift up yourself against the rage of my adversaries. Awake for me. You have commanded judgment. Verse 7. Let the congregation of the peoples surround you. Rule over them on high. The Lord administers judgment to the peoples. Judge me, Lord, according to my righteousness and to my integrity that is in me. O let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the righteous. Their minds and hearts are searched by the righteous God. Verse 10. My shield is with God, who saves the upright in heart. God is a righteous judge. Yes, a God who has indignation every day. If a man doesn't repent, he will sharpen his sword. He has bent and strung his bow. He has also prepared himself the instruments of death. He makes ready his flaming arrows. Behold, he travails with iniquity. Yes, he has conceived mischief and brought out falsehood. Verse 15. He has dug a hole and has fallen into the pit which he made. The trouble he causes shall return to his own head. His violence shall come down on the crown of his own head. I will give thanks to the Lord according to his righteousness, and will sing praises to the name of the Lord Most High. Psalm 8, for the chief musician, on the instrument of Gath, a psalm by David. Verse 1. Lord our God, how majestic is your name in all the earth. You have set your glory above the heavens. From the lips of babes and infants, you have established strength because of your adversaries, that you might silence the enemy and the avenger. Verse 3. When I consider your heavens, the works of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have ordained, what is man that you think of him? What is the Son of Man that you care for him? Verse 5. For you have made him a little lower than the angels, and crowned him with glory and honor. You make him ruler over the works of your hands. You have put all things under his feet, all the cattle, all the sheep, yes, and the animals of the field, the birds of the sky, the fish of the sea, and whatever passes through the paths of the seas. Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. Psalms 9. For the chief musician, set to the death of the Son, a psalm by David. Verse 1. I will give thanks to the Lord with my whole heart. I will tell of all your marvelous works. I will be glad and rejoice in you. I will sing praise to your name, O Most High. When my enemies turn back, they stumble and perish in your presence. Verse 4. For you have maintained my just cause. You sit on the throne, judging righteously. You have rebuked the nations. You have destroyed the wicked. You have blotted out their name forever and ever. Verse 6. The enemy is overtaken by endless ruin. The very memory of the cities which you have overthrown has perished. But the Lord reigns forever. He has prepared his throne for judgment. Verse 8. He will judge the world in righteousness. He will administer judgment to the peoples in uprightness. The Lord will also be a high tower for the oppressed, a high tower in the time of trouble. Those who know your name will put their trust in you. For you, Lord, have not forsaken those who seek you. Verse 11. Sing praises to the Lord who dwells in Zion, and declare amongst the people what the Lord has done. For he who avenges blood remembers them. He doesn't forget the cry of the afflicted. Have mercy on me, Lord. See my affliction by those who hate me, and lift me up from the gates of death, that I may show all of your praise. I will rejoice in your salvation, in the gates of the daughter of Zion. The nations have sunk down in the pit that they made, in the net which they hid. Their own foot is taken. Verse 16. The Lord has made himself known. He has executed judgment. The wicked is snared by the works of his hands. Selah. The wicked shall be turned back to Sheol, even all the nations that forget God. For the needy shall not be forgotten, nor the hope of the poor perish forever. Arise, Lord. Don't let man prevail. Let the nations be judged in your sight. Verse 20. Put them in fear, Lord. Let the nations know that they are only men. Selah. Psalm 10. Why do you stand far off, Lord? Why do you hide yourself in times of trouble? In arrogance, the wicked hunt down the weak. They are caught in the schemes that they devise. For the wicked boasts of his heart's cravings. He blesses the greedy and condemns the Lord. The wicked, in the pride of his face, has no room in his thoughts for God. His ways are prosperous at all times. He is arrogant, and your laws are far from his sight. As for all his adversaries, he sneers at them. He says in his heart, I shall not be shaken. For nations, generations, I shall have no trouble. His mouth is full of cursing, deceit, and oppression. Under the tongue is mischief and iniquity. He lies in wait near the villages. From ambushes he murders the innocent. His eyes are secretly set against the helpless. He lurks in secret as a lion in his ambush. He lies in wait to catch the helpless. He catches the helpless when he draws him in his net. Verse 10. The helpless are crushed. They collapse. They fall under his strength. He says in his heart, God has forgotten. He hides his face. He will never see it. Verse 12. Arise, Lord. God, lift up your hand. Don't forget the helpless. Why does the wicked person condemn God and say in his heart, God won't call me into account? But you do see trouble and grief. You consider it to take it into your hand. You help the victim and the fatherless. Break the arm of the wicked. As for the evil man, seek out his wickedness until you find none. The Lord is king forever and ever. The nations will perish out of this land. Lord, you have heard the desire of the humble. You will prepare their heart. You will cause your ear to hear. Verse 18. To judge the fatherless and the oppressed. That man who is of the earth may terrify no more. Psalm 11, for the chief musician, by David. Verse 1. In the Lord I take refuge. How can you say to my soul, flee as a bird to your mountain? For behold, the wicked bend their bows. They set their arrows on their strings, that they may shoot in the darkness at the upright in heart. Verse 3. If the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord is on his throne in heaven. His eyes observe. His eyes examine the children of men. Verse 5. The Lord examines the righteous, but his soul hates the wicked and him who loves violence. On the wicked he will rain blazing coals, fire, sulfur, and scorching wind shall be the portion of their cup. Verse 7. For the Lord is righteous. He loves righteousness. The upright shall see his face. Psalm 12. For the chief musician, upon an 8-string lyre, a psalm of David. Verse 1. Help, Lord, for the godly man ceases. For the faithful fail from amongst the children of men. Everyone lies to his neighbor. They speak with flattering lips and with a double heart. May the Lord cut off all flattering lips and the tongue that boasts, who have said, with our tongue we will prevail. Our lips are our own. Who is Lord over us? Because of the oppression of the weak and because of the groaning of the needy, I will now arise, says the Lord. I will set him in safety from those who malign him. The Lord's words are flawless words, as silver refined in a clay furnace, purified 7 times. You will keep them, Lord. You will preserve them from this generation forever. The wicked walk on every side, and when what is vile is exalted amongst the sons of men. Psalm 13, Psalm by David, verse 1. How long, Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long shall I take counsel in my own soul, having sorrow in my heart every day? How long shall my enemy triumph over me? Verse 3. Behold and answer me, Lord, my God. Give light to my eyes, lest I sleep in death. Lest my enemies say, I have prevailed against him. Lest my adversaries rejoice when I fall. Verse 5. But I trust in your loving kindness. My heart rejoices in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord because he has been good to me. Psalm 14, for the chief musician, by David, verse 1. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable deeds. There is no one who does good. The Lord looked down from heaven on the children of men to see if there were any who understood, who sought after God. Verse 3. They have all gone aside. They have together become corrupt. There is no one who does good. No, not one. Have all the workers of iniquity have no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread, and don't call on the Lord? There they were in great fear, for God is in the generation of the righteous. Verse 6. You frustrate the plan of the poor, because the Lord is his refuge. Oh, that the salvation of Israel would come out of Zion. When the Lord restores the fortunes of his people, then Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad. Psalm 15, a psalm by David, verse 1. Lord, who shall dwell in your sanctuary? Who shall live in your holy hill? He who walks blamelessly and does what is right, and speaks truth in his heart. He who doesn't slander with his tongue, nor does evil to his friend, nor casts slurs against his fellow man, in whose eyes a vile man is despised, but who honors those who fear the Lord. He who keeps an oath even when it hurts and doesn't change. He who doesn't lend out his money for usury, nor take a bribe against the innocent. He who does these things shall never be shaken. Psalms 16, a poem by David, verse 1. Preserve me, God, for I take refuge in you. My soul, you have said to the Lord, you are my Lord. Apart from you, I have no good thing. As for the saints who are in the earth, they are the excellent ones in whom is all my delight. Verse 4. Their sorrows shall be multiplied who give gifts to another God. Their drink offerings of blood I will not offer, nor take their names on my lips. Verse 5. The Lord assigned my portion and my cup. You made my lot secure. The lines have fallen to me in pleasant places. Yes, I have a good inheritance. I will bless the Lord who has given me counsel. Yes, my heart instructs me in the night seasons. Verse 8. I have set the Lord always before me. Because he is at my right hand, I shall not be moved. Therefore my heart is glad, and my tongue rejoices. My body shall also dwell in safety. Verse 10. For you will not leave my soul in Sheol, neither will you allow your Holy One to see corruption. You will show me the path of life. In your presence is fullness of joy. In your right hand there are pleasures forevermore. Psalms 17, a prayer by David. Verse 1. Hear, Lord, my righteous plea. Give ear to my prayer that doesn't go out of deceitful lips. Let my sentence come out of your presence. Let your eyes look on iniquity. You have proved my heart. You have visited me in the night. You have tried me and found nothing. I have resolved that my mouth shall not disobey. Verse 4. As for the deeds of men, by the word of your lips, I have kept myself from the ways of the violent. My steps have held fast to your path. My feet have not slipped. I've called on you, for you will answer me, God. Turn your ear to me. Hear my speech. Verse 7. Show your marvelous loving kindness. You who save those who take refuge in your right hand from their enemies. Keep me as the apple of your eye. Help me. Hide me under the shadow of your wings from the wicked who oppress me, my deadly enemies who surround me. Verse 10. They close up their callous hearts. With their mouth they speak proudly. They have now surrounded us in our steps. They set their eyes to cast us down on the earth. He is like a lion that is greedy of his prey, as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Verse 13. Arise, Lord, confront him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked by your sword, from men by your hand, Lord, from men of the world whose portion is in this life. You fill the belly of the cherished ones. Your sons have plenty, and they store up wealth for their children. Verse 15. As for me, I shall see your face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake, seeing your form. Psalms 18, for the chief musician, by David the servant of the Lord, who spoke to the Lord words of this song in the day that the Lord delivered him from the hands of all his enemies and from the hand of Saul. He said, verse 1, I love you, Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer, my God, my rock, whom I take refuge, my shield, and the horn of my salvation, my high tower. I call on the Lord, who is worthy to be praised, and I am saved from my enemies. Verse 4. The cords of death surround me. The floods of ungodliness made me afraid. The cords of Sheol were around me. The snares of death came on me. In my distress, I called on the Lord and cried to my God. He heard my voice out of his temple. My cry came before his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations of the mountains quaked and were shaken because he was angry. Smoke went out of his nostrils. Consuming fire came out of his mouth. Coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also and came down. Thick darkness was under his feet. Verse 10. He rode on a cherub and flew. Yes, he soared on the wings of the wind. He made darkness his hiding place, his pavilion around him, darkness of waters, thick clouds of the skies. At the brightness before him, his thick clouds passed, hailstones and coals of fire. The Lord also thundered in the sky. The Most High uttered his voice. Hailstones and coals of fire. He sent out his arrows and scattered them. He routed them with great lightning bolts. Then the channels of waters appeared. The foundations of the world were laid bare at your rebuke, Lord, at the blast of the breath of your nostrils. He sent out on high. He took me. He drew me out of many waters. He delivered me from my strong enemy, from those who hated me, for they were too mighty for me. They came on me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my support. Verse 19, he brought me out also into a large place. He delivered me because he delighted in me. The Lord has rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands. He has recompensed me, for I have kept the ways of the Lord and have not wickedly departed from my God. For all his ordinances were before me. I didn't put away his statutes from me. I was also blameless with him. I kept myself from my iniquity. Therefore, the Lord has rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his eyesight. Verse 25. With the merciful, you will show yourself merciful. With the perfect man, you show yourself perfect. With the pure, you will show yourself pure. With the crooked, you will show yourself shrewd. Verse 27. For you will save the afflicted people, but the arrogant eyes you will bring down. For you will light my lamp, Lord. My God will light up my darkness. For by you I advance through a troop. By my God I leap over a wall. As for God, his way is perfect. The Lord's words is tried. He is a shield to all those who take refuge in him. For he is God, who is God except the Lord? Who is a rock besides our God? The God who arms me with strength and makes my way perfect? Verse 33. He makes my feet like a deer's feet and sets me on high places. He teaches my hands to war so that my arms bend a bow of bronze. You have also given me the shield of my salvation, of your salvation. Your right hand sustains me. Your gentleness has made me great. Verse 36. You have enlarged my steps under me. My feet have not slipped. I will pursue my enemies and overtake them. I won't turn away until they are all consumed. I will strike them through so that they will not able to rise. They shall fall under my feet. Verse 39. For you have armed me with strength to the battle. You have subdued me those who rose up against me. You have also made my enemies turn their backs to me, that I might cut off those who hate me. They cried, but there was no one to save, even to the Lord. But he didn't answer them. Then I beat them small as the dust before the wind. I cast them out as the mare of the streets. Verse 43. You have delivered me from the strivings of the people. You have made me the head of the nations. A people whom I have not known shall serve me. Verse 44. As soon as they hear of me, they shall obey me. The foreigners shall submit themselves to me. The foreigners shall fade away and shall come trembling out of their strongholds. The Lord lives. Blessed be my rock. Exalted be the God of my salvation, even the God who executes vengeance for me and subdues people under me. He rescues me from my enemies. Yes, you lift me up above those who rise up against me. You delivered me from the violent man. Therefore, I will give thanks to you, Lord, amongst the nations, and will sing praises to your name. Verse 50. He gives great deliverance to his king and shows loving kindness to his anointed, to David and to his offspring forevermore. Psalms 19, for the chief musician, a psalm by David. Verse 1. The heavens declare the glory of God. The expanse shows his handiwork. Day after day they pour out speech, and night they display knowledge. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their voice has gone out through all the earth, their words to the end of the world. In them he has set a tent for the sun, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his room, like a strong man rejoicing to run his course. His going out is from the end of the heavens, his circuit to the ends. There is nothing hidden from its heat. The Lord's law is perfect, restoring the soul. The Lord's covenant is sure, making wise the simple. Verse 8. The Lord's precepts are right, rejoicing the heart. The Lord's commandment is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The Lord's ordinances are true and righteous altogether. Verse 10. There are more to be desired than gold. Yes, more than fine gold, sweeter also than honey, an extract of the honeycomb. Moreover, your servant is warned by them. In keeping them, there is great reward. Who can discern his error? Forgive me from hidden errors. Keep back your servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then I will be upright. I'll be blameless and innocent of great transgression. Verse 14. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, Lord, my rock, my redeemer. Psalms 20. For the chief musician, a psalm by David. Verse 1. May the Lord answer you in the day of trouble. May the name of the God of Jacob set you up on high. Send you help from the sanctuary. Grant you support from Zion. Remember all your offerings and accept your burnt sacrifice. Selah. Verse 4. May he grant you your heart's desires and fulfill all your counsel. We will triumph in your salvation. In the name of our God, we will set up our banners. May the Lord grant all your requests. Now I know that the Lord saves his anointed. He will answer him from his holy heaven with the saving strength of his right hand. Some trust in chariots, some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. Verse 8. They are bowed down and fallen, but we rise up and stand upright. Save, Lord. Let the King answer all when we call. Psalms 21. For the chief musician, a psalm by David. Verse 1. The king rejoices in your strength, Lord. How greatly he rejoices in your salvation. You have given him his heart's desires and have not withheld the request of his lips. Selah. For you meet him with the blessings of goodness. You set a crown of fine gold on his head. He asked the life of you, and you gave him even length of days forever and ever. Verse 5. His glory is great in your salvation. You lay honor and majesty on him, for you make him most blessed forever. You make him glad with joy in your presence. For the king trusts in the Lord. Through the loving kindness of the Most High, he shall not be moved. Your hand will find out all of your enemies. Your right hand will find out those who hate you. You will make them as a fiery furnace in the time of your anger. The Lord will swallow them up in his wrath. The fire shall devour them. Verse 10. You shall destroy their descendants from the earth, their prosperity amongst the children of men. For they intended evil against you. They plotted evil against you, which cannot succeed. For you will make them turn their back when you aim drawn bows at their face. Verse 13. Be exalted, Lord, in your strength. So we will sing and praise your power. Psalms 22. For the chief musician, set to the door of the morning, a psalm by David. Verse 1. My God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from helping me? And from the words of my groaning, my God, I cry in the daytime, but you don't answer. In the night, and I'm not silent. But you are holy, you who inhabit the praises of Israel. Our fathers trusted in you. They trusted and you delivered them. Verse 5. They cried to you and were delivered. They trusted in you and were not disappointed. But I am a worm and not a man, a reproach of men and despised by the people. All those who see me mock me. They insult me with their lips. They shake their heads, saying, He trusts in the Lord. Let him deliver him. Let him rescue him, since he delights in him. Verse 9. But you brought me out of the womb. You made me trust while at my mother's breasts. Verse 10. I was thrown on you from my mother's womb. You are my God since my mother bore me. Don't be far from me, for trouble is near, for there is no one to help. Many bulls have surrounded me. Strong bulls of Bashan have encircled me. They open their mouths wide against me, lions tearing prey and roaring. I am poured out like water. All of my bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax. It is melted within me. Verse 15. My strength is dried up like a potsherd. My tongue sticks to the roof of my mouth. You have brought me into the dust of dearth. For dogs have surrounded me. A company of evildoers have enclosed me. They have pierced my hands and feet. I can count all of my bones. They look and stare at me. They divide my garments amongst them. They cast lots for my clothing. But don't be far off, Lord. You are my help. Hurry to help me. Verse 20. Deliver my soul from the sword, my precious life from the power of the dog. Save me from the lion's mouth. Yes, you have rescued me from the horns of the wild oxen. I will declare your name to my brothers. Amongst the nations, I will praise you. You who fear the Lord, praise him. All you descendants of Jacob, glorify him. Stand in awe of him, all you descendants of Israel. For he has not despised nor abhorred the affliction of the afflicted, neither has he hidden his face from him. But when he cried to him, he heard. My praise of you comes in the great assembly. I will pay my vows before those who fear him. The humble shall eat and be satisfied. They shall praise the Lord who seek after him. Let your hearts live forever. Verse 27. All the ends of the earth shall remember and turn to the Lord. All the relatives of the nations shall worship before you. For the kingdom is the Lord's. He is the ruler over the nations. All the rich ones of the earth shall eat and worship. All those who go down to the dust shall bow down before him. Even he who can't keep his soul alive. Verse 30. Posterity shall serve him. Future generations shall be told about the Lord. They shall come and shall declare the righteousness to a people that shall be born, for he has done it. Psalms 23, a psalm by David. Verse 1. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Verse 4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runs over. Verse 6. Surely goodness and loving kindness shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Psalms 24, a psalm by David. Verse 1. The earth is the Lord's, with its fullness, the world and those who dwell in it. For he has founded it upon the seas and established it on the floods. Verse 3. Who may ascend to the Lord's hill? Who may stand in his holy place? He who has clean hands and a pure heart, he who has not lifted up his soul to falsehood and has not sworn deceitfully. He shall receive a blessing from the Lord, righteousness from the God of salvation. Verse 6. This is the generation of those who seek him, who seek your face, even Jacob. Salah. Lift up your heads, O you gates. Be lifted up, you everlasting doors, and the King of glory will come in. Who is the King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, you gates. Lift them up, you everlasting doors, and the King of glory will come in. Verse 10. Who is the King of glory? The Lord of armies, the King of glory. Selah. Psalm 25 by David. Verse 1. To you, Lord, I lift up my soul. My God, I have trusted in you. Don't let me be ashamed. Don't let my enemies triumph over me. Verse 3. Yes, no one who waits for you will be ashamed. They will be shamed who deal treacherously without cause. Show me your ways, Lord. Teach me your paths. Verse 5. Guide me in your truth and teach me, for you are the God of my salvation. I wait for you all day long. Lord, remember your tender mercies and your loving kindness, for they are from old times. Don't remember the sins of my youth, nor my transgressions. Remember me according to your loving kindness, for your goodness' sake, Lord. Verse 8. Good and upright is the Lord. Therefore he will instruct sinners in the way. He will guide the humble in justice. He will teach the humble his way. All the paths of the Lord are loving kindness and truth, to such as keep his covenant and his testimonies. For your name's sake, Lord, pardon my iniquity, for it is great. What man is he who fears the Lord? He shall instruct him in the way that he shall choose. Verse 13. His soul will dwell at ease. His offspring will inherit the land. The friendship of the Lord is with those who fear him. He will show them his covenant. My eyes are ever on the Lord, for he will pluck my feet out of the net. Turn to me and have mercy on me, for I am desolate and afflicted. The troubles of my heart are enlarged. Oh, bring me out of my distresses. Consider my affliction and my travail. Forgive all my sins. Consider my enemies, for they are many. They hate me with cruel hatred. Oh, keep my soul and deliver me. Let me not be disappointed, for I take refuge in you. Let integrity and uprightness preserve me, for I wait for you. Verse 22. God, redeem Israel out of all his troubles. Psalms 26 by David, verse 1. Judge me, Lord, for I have walked in my integrity. I have trusted also in the Lord without wavering. Examine me, Lord, and prove me. Try my heart and my mind. For your loving kindness is before my eyes. I have walked in your truth. Verse 4. I have not sat with the deceitful man, neither will I go in with hypocrites. I hate the assembly of the evildoers, and will not sit with the wicked. I will wash my hands in innocence. So I will go about your altar, Lord, that I may make the voice of thanksgiving be heard, and tell of all your wondrous deeds. Verse 8. Lord, I love the habitation of your house, the place where your glory dwells. Don't gather my soul with sinners, nor my life with bloodthirsty men, in whose hands is wickedness. Their right hand is full of bribes. But as for me, I will walk in my integrity. Redeem me and be merciful to me. Verse 12. My foot stands in an even place. In the congregations I will bless the Lord. Psalms 27 by David, verse 1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When evildoers came at me to eat up my flesh, even my adversaries and my foe, they stumbled and fell. Though an army should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war should arise against me, even then I will be confident. One thing I have asked of the Lord, that I will seek after, that I may dwell in the Lord's house all the days of my life, to see the Lord's beauty and to inquire in his temple. Verse 5. For in the day of trouble, he will keep me secretly in his pavilion. In the secret place of his tabernacle, he will hide me. He will lift me up on a rock. Now my head will be lifted up above my enemies around me. I will offer sacrifices of joy in his tent. I will sing, yes, I will sing praises to the Lord. Verse 7. Hear, Lord, when I cry with my voice. Have mercy also on me and answer me. When you said, seek my face, my heart said to you, I will seek your face, Lord. Verse 9. Don't hide your face from me. Don't put your servant away in anger. You have been my help. Don't abandon me, neither forsake me. God of my salvation, when my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will take me up. Teach me your way, Lord. Lead me in a straight path because of my enemies. Don't deliver me over to the desire of my adversaries, for false witnesses have risen up against me, such as breathe out cruelty. Verse 13. I am still confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Verse 14. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and let your heart take courage. Yes, wait for the Lord. Psalms 28 by David. To you, Lord, I will call, my rock. Don't be deaf to me, lest if you are silent to me, I will become like those who go down into the pit. Hear the voice of my petitions when I cry to you, when I lift up my hands towards your most holy place. Don't draw me away with the wicked, with the workers of iniquity who speak peace with their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. Verse 4. Give them according to their work and according to the wickedness of their doings. Give them according to the operation of their hands. Bring back on them what they deserve. Verse 5. Because they don't respect the works of the Lord, nor the operations of his hands, he will break them down and not build them up. Blessed be the Lord, because he has heard the voice of my petitions. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart has trusted in him, and I am helped. Therefore my heart greatly rejoices. With my song I will thank him. The Lord is their strength. He is a stronghold of salvation to his anointed. Verse 9. Save your people and bless your inheritance. Be their shepherd also and bear them up forever. Psalms 29, a psalm by David. Verse 1. Ascribe to the Lord, you sons of the mighty. Ascribe to the Lord glory and strength. Ascribe to the Lord glory due to his name. Worship the Lord in his holy array. The Lord's voice is on the waters. The God of glory thunders, even the Lord on many waters. The Lord's voice is powerful. The Lord's voice is full of majesty. The Lord's voice breaks the cedars. Yes, the Lord breaks in pieces the cedars of Lebanon. He makes them also to skip like a calf, Lebanon and Syrian, like a young wild ox. The Lord's voice strikes with flashes of lightning. The Lord's voice shakes the wilderness. The Lord shakes the wilderness of Kadesh. The Lord's voice makes the deer calve and strips of the forest bare. In his temple, everything says, Glory! Verse 10. The Lord sat enthroned at the flood. Yes, the Lord sits as the king forever. Verse 11. The Lord will give strength to his people. The Lord will bless his people with peace. Psalms 30, a psalm, a song for the dedication of the temple by David. Verse 1. I will extol you, Lord, for you have raised me up. You have not made my foes to rejoice over me. Lord my God, I cried to you and you healed me. Lord, you have brought up my soul from Sheol. You have kept me alive, that I should not go down to the pit. Verse 4. Sing praise to the Lord, you saints of his. Give thanks to his holy name. For his anger is but for a moment. His favor is for a lifetime. Weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning. As for me, I said in my prosperity, I shall never be moved. You, Lord, when you favored me, made my mountain stand strong. But when you hid your face, I was troubled. I cried to you, Lord. I made supplication to the Lord. What profit is there in my destruction if I go down to the pit? Shall the dust praise you? Shall it declare your truth? Verse 10. Hear, Lord, and have mercy on me. Lord, be my helper. You have turned my mourning into dancing for me. You have removed my sackcloth and clothed me with gladness, to the end that my heart may sing praise to you and not be silent. Lord my God, I will give thanks to you forever. Psalms 31. For the chief musician, a psalm by David. Verse 1. In you, Lord, I take refuge. Let me never be disappointed. Deliver me in your righteousness. Bow down your ear to me. Deliver me speedily. Be to me a strong rock, a house of defense to save me. For you are my rock and my fortress. Therefore, for your name's sake, lead me and guide me. Pluck me out of the net that they have laid secretly for me. For you are my stronghold. Into your hand I commend my spirit. You redeem me, Lord, God of truth. Verse 6. I hate those who regard lying vanities, but I trust in the Lord. I will be glad and rejoice in your loving kindness, for you have seen my affliction. You have known my soul in adversities. You have not shut me up into the land of the enemy. You have set my feet in a large place. Have mercy on me, Lord, for I am in distress. My eye, my soul, my body waste away with grief. For my life is spent with sorrow, my years with sighing. My strength fails me because of my iniquity. My bones are wasted away. Because of all my adversaries, I have become utterly contemptible to my neighbors, a horror to my acquaintances. Those who saw me on the street fled from me. Verse 12. I am forgotten from their hearts like a dead man. I am like broken pottery. I have heard the slander of many, terror on every side, while they conspire together against me. They plot to take away my life. Verse 14. But I trust in you, Lord. I said, you are my God. My times are in your hand. Deliver me from the hand of the enemies and from those who persecute me. Make your face to shine on your servant. Save me in your loving kindness. Let me not be disappointed, Lord, for I have called on you. Let the wicked be disappointed. Let them be silent in Sheol. Let the lion lips be mute, which speak against the righteous insolently, with pride and contempt. Oh, how great is your goodness, which you have laid up for those who fear you, which you have worked for those who take refuge in you before the sons of men. Verse 20. In the shelter of your presence, you will hide them from the plotting of man. You will keep them secretly in a dwelling away from the strife of tongues. Praise be to the Lord, for he has shown me his marvelous loving kindness in a strong city. As for me, I said in my haste, I am cut off from before your eyes. Nevertheless, you heard the voice of my petitions when I cried to you. O Lord, love the Lord, all you saints. The Lord preserves the faithful and fully recompenses those who behave arrogantly. Verse 24, be strong and let your heart take courage, all you who hope in the Lord. Psalms 32 by David, a contemplative psalm. Verse 1. Blessed is he whose disobedience is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Blessed is the man whom the Lord doesn't impute iniquity, in whose spirit there is no deceit. When I kept silence, my bones wasted away through my groaning all day. Verse 4. For day and night your hand was heavy on me. My strength was sapped in the heat of summer. Selah. Verse 5. I acknowledged my sin to you. I didn't hide my iniquity. I said, I will confess my transgressions to the Lord, and you forgave the iniquity of my sin. Selah. Verse 6. For this, let everyone who is godly pray to you in a time when you may be found. Surely, when the great waters overflow, they shall not reach to him. You are my hiding place. You will preserve me from trouble. You will surround me with songs of deliverance. Selah. Verse 8. I will instruct you and teach you in the way which you shall go. I will counsel you with my eye on you. Don't be like the horse or like the mule, which have no understanding, who are controlled by a bit and a bridle, or else they will not come near to you. Many sorrows come to the wicked, but loving kindness shall surround him who trusts in the Lord. Verse 11. Be glad in the Lord and rejoice, you righteous. Shout for joy, all you who are upright in heart. Psalms 33, verse 1. Rejoice in the Lord, you righteous. Praise is fitting for the upright. Give thanks to the Lord with the lyre. Sing praises to him with the harp of 10 strings. Sing to him a new song. Play skillfully with a shout of joy. For the Lord's word is right. All his work is done in faithfulness. He loves righteousness and justice. The earth is full of the Lord's loving kindness. By the Lord's word, the heavens were made, all their army by the breath of his mouth. He gathers the waters of the sea together as a heap. He lays up the deeps in storehouses. Let all the earth fear the Lord. Let all the inhabitants of the earth stand in awe of him. Verse 9. For he spoke and it was done. He commanded and it stood firm. Verse 10. The Lord brings the counsel of the nations to nothing. He makes the thoughts of people to be of no effect. The counsel of the Lord stands fast forever, the thoughts of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, the people whom he has chosen for his own inheritance. The Lord looks from heaven. He sees all the sons of men. From the place of his habitation, he looks out on all the inhabitants of the earth. He who fashions all of their hearts, and he considers all of their works. There is no king saved by the multitude of an army. A mighty man is not delivered by great strength. A horse is a vain thing for safety. Neither does he deliver any by his great power. Behold, the Lord's eye is on those who fear him, on those who hope in his loving kindness. Verse 19. To deliver their soul from death, to keep them alive in famine. Our soul has waited for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. For our heart rejoices in him because we have trusted in his holy name. Verse 22. Let your loving kindness be on us, Lord, since we have hoped in you. Psalms 34 by David, when he pretended to be insane before Abimelech, who drove him away, and he departed. Verse 1. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise will always be in my mouth. My soul shall boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear of it and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me. Let's exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he answered me and delivered me from all my fears. They looked to him and were radiant. Their faces shall never be covered with shame. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. Verse 7. The Lord's angel encamps around those who fear him and delivers them. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who takes refuge in him. Oh, fear the Lord, you saints, for there is no lack with those who fear him. The young lions do lack and suffer hunger, but those who seek the Lord shall not lack any good thing. Come, you children, listen to me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. Who is someone who desires life and loves many days, that he may see good? Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking lies. Verse 14, depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The Lord's eyes are towards the righteous. His ears listen to their cry. The Lord's face is against those who do evil, to cut off their memory from the earth. The righteous cry, and the Lord hears, and delivers them out of all their troubles. The Lord is near to those who have a broken heart, and saves those who have a crushed spirit. Verse 19, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. He protects all of his bones, not one of them is broken. Evil shall kill the wicked. Those who hate the righteousness those who hate the righteous shall be condemned. Verse 22, the Lord redeems the soul of his servants. None of those who take refuge in him shall be condemned. Psalms 35 by David, verse 1. Contend, Lord, with those who contend with me. Fight against those who fight against me. Take hold of shield and buckler and stand up for my help. Brandish the spear and block those who pursue me. Tell my soul, I am your salvation. Let those who seek after my soul be disappointed and brought to dishonor. Let those who plot my ruin be turned back and confounded. Verse 5. Let them be as chaff before the wind, the Lord's angel driving them on. Let their way be dark and slippery, the Lord's anger pursuing them. For without cause they have hidden their net in a pit for me. Without cause they have dug a pit for my soul. Let destruction come on him unawares. Let his net that he has hidden catch himself. Let him fall into that destruction. Verse 9. My soul shall be joyful in the Lord. It shall rejoice in his salvation. All my bones shall say, Lord, who is like you? Who delivers the poor who is too strong for him? Yes, the poor and the needy from him who robs him. Unrighteous witnesses rise up. They ask me about things I don't know about. They reward me evil for good, to the bereaving of my soul. Verse 13. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I afflicted my soul with fasting. My prayer returned into my own person. I behaved myself as though it had been my friend or my brother. I bowed down mourning, as one who mourns for his mother. But in my adversity they rejoiced and gathered themselves together. The attackers gathered themselves together against me, and I didn't know it. They tore at me and didn't cease. Like the profane mockers in the feast, they gnashed their teeth at me. Lord, how long will you look on? Rescue my soul from their destruction, my precious life from the lions. I will give you thanks in the great assembly. I will praise you amongst many people. Don't let those who are my enemies wrongfully rejoice over me. Neither let those who hate me without a cause wink their eyes. Verse 20. For they don't speak peace, but they devise deceitful words against those who are quiet in the land. Yes, they opened their mouth wide against me. They said, aha, aha, our eye has seen it. You have seen it, Lord. Don't keep silent, Lord. Don't be far from me. Wake up, rise up, defend me, my God, my Lord, contend for me, vindicate me, Lord, my God, according to your righteousness. Don't let them gloat over me. Don't let them say in their heart, aha, that's the way we want it. Don't let them say, we have swallowed him up. Verse 26. Let them be disappointed and confounded together who rejoice at my calamity. Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor who magnify themselves against me. Let those who favor my righteous cause shout for joy and be glad. Yes, let them say continually, may the Lord be magnified, who has pleasure in the prosperity of his servant. Verse 28, my tongue shall talk about your righteousness, about your praise all day long. Psalms 36. For the chief musician, by David, the servant of the Lord. Verse 1. A revelation is within my heart about the disobedience of the wicked. There is no fear of God before his eyes, for he flatters himself in his own eyes, too much to detect and hate his sin. The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He has ceased to be wise and to do good. He plots iniquity on his bed. He sets himself in a way that is not good. He doesn't abhor evil. Verse 5. Your loving kindness, Lord, is even in the heavens. Your faithfulness reaches the skies. Your righteousness is like the mountains of God. Your judgments are like a deep, great deep. Lord, you preserve man and animal. How precious is your loving kindness, God! The children of men take refuge under the shadow of your wings. They shall be abundantly satisfied with the abundance of your house. You will make them drink of the river of your pleasures. Verse 9. For with you is the spring of life. In your light we see light. Oh, continue your loving kindness to those who know you, your righteousness to the upright in heart. Don't let the foot of pride come against me. Don't let the hand of the wicked drive me away. Verse 12. There the workers of iniquity are fallen. They are thrust down and shall not be able to rise. Psalms 37 by David. Verse 1. Don't fret because of evildoers, neither be envious against those who work unrighteousness, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither like the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. Also, delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust also in him, and he will do this. He will make your righteousness shine out like light, and your justice as the noonday sun. Verse 7. Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Don't fret because of him who prospers in his way, because of the man who makes wicked plots happen. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Don't fret, it leads only to evil doing. For evildoers shall be cut off, and those who wait for the Lord shall inherit the land. For yet a little while, and the wicked will be no more. Yes, though you look for his place, he isn't there. But the humble shall inherit the land, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. Verse 12. The wicked plots against the just, and gnashes at him with his teeth. The Lord will laugh at him, and he sees that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword, and have bent their bow, to cast down the poor and the needy, to kill those who are upright on the path. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, their bows shall be broken. Better is a little that the righteous has, than the abundance of many wicked. Verse 17. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholds the righteous. The Lord knows the days of the perfect. Their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be disappointed in the time of evil. In the days of famine they shall be satisfied. But the wicked shall perish. The enemies of the Lord shall be like the beauty of the fields. They will vanish like smoke. The wicked borrow and don't pay back, but the righteous give generously. For such as are blessed by him shall inherit the land. Those who are cursed by him shall be cut off. Verse 23. A man's steps are established by the Lord. He delights in his way. Though he stumble, he shall not fall, for the Lord holds him up with his hand. I have been young, and now I am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his children begging bread. All day long he deals graciously, and lends his offspring is blessed. Depart from evil and do good. Live securely forever, for the Lord loves justice and doesn't forsake his saints. They are preserved forever, but the children of the wicked shall be cut off. Verse 29. The righteous shall inherit the land and live in it forever. The mouth of the righteous talks of wisdom. His tongue speaks justice. The law of his God is in his heart. None of his steps shall slide. The wicked watch the righteous and seek to kill him. The Lord will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. Wait for the Lord and keep his way, and he will exalt you to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, you shall see it. Verse 35. I have seen the wicked in great power, spreading himself like a green tree in his native soil. But he passed away, and behold, he was not. Yes, I sought him, but he could not be found. Mark the perfect man, and see the upright, for there is a future for the man of peace. As for transgressors, they shall be destroyed together. The future of the wicked shall be cut off, but the salvation of the righteous is from the Lord. He is their stronghold in the time of trouble. Verse 40. The Lord helps them and rescues them. He rescues them from the wicked and saves them because they have taken refuge in him. Psalms 38. A psalm by David for a memorial. Verse 1. Lord, don't rebuke me in your wrath, neither chasten me in your hot displeasure. For your arrows have pierced me, your hand presses hard on me. There is no soundness in my flesh because of your indignation, neither is there any health in my bones because of my sin. For my iniquities have gone over my head as a heavy burden, they are too heavy for me. Verse 5. My wounds are loathsome and corrupt because of my foolishness. I am in pain and bow down greatly. I go mourning all day long, for my waist is filled with burning. There is no soundness in my flesh. I am faint and severely bruised. I have groaned by reason of the anguish of my heart. Verse 9. Lord, all my desire is before you. My groaning is not hidden from you. My heart throbs, my strength fails me, and for the light of my eyes, it has also left me. My lovers and my friends stand aloof from my plague. My kinsmen stand far away. They also who seek after my life lay snares. Those who seek my hurt speak mischievous things and meditate deceits all day long. But I, as a deaf man, don't hear. I am a mute man who doesn't open his mouth. Yes, I am as a man who doesn't hear, in whose mouth are no reproofs. Verse 15. For I hope in you, Lord. You will answer, Lord my God. For I said, don't let me gloat over me. Don't let them gloat over me or exalt themselves over me when my foot slips. For I am ready to fall. My pain is continually before me. For I will declare my iniquity. I will be sorry for my sins. But my enemies are vigorous and many. Those who hate me without reason are numerous. They who render evil for good are also adversaries to me, because I follow what is good. Verse 21. Don't forsake me, Lord my God. Don't be far from me. Hurry to help me, Lord, my salvation. Psalms 39. For the chief musician, for Jeduthun, a psalm by David. Verse 1. I said, I will watch my ways so that I don't sin with my tongue. I will keep my mouth with a bridle while the wicked is before me. I was mute with silence, I held my peace even from good. My sorrow was stirred, my heart was hot within me. While I meditated, the fire burnt. I spoke with my tongue. Lord, show me my end. What is the measure of my days? Let me know how frail I am. Verse 5. Behold, you have made my days handwidths. My lifetime is as nothing before you. Surely every man stands as a breath. Selah. Surely every man walks like a shadow. Surely they busy themselves in vain. He heaps up and doesn't know who shall gather. Now, Lord, what do I wait for? My hope is in you. Deliver me from all my transgressions. Don't make the reproach of the foolish. Don't make me the reproach of the foolish. I was mute. I didn't open my mouth because you did it. Remove your scourge away from me. I am overcome by the blow of your hand. When you rebuke and correct man for iniquity, you consume his wealth like a moth. Surely every man is but a breath. Selah. Verse 12. Hear my prayer, Lord, and give ear to my cry. Don't be silent at my tears. For I am a stranger with you, a foreigner, as all my fathers were. Verse 13. Oh, spare me, that I may recover strength before I go away and exist no more. Psalms 40. For the chief musician, a psalm by David. Verse 1. I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. He brought me up also out of a horrible pit, out of the miry clay. He set my feet upon a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. He has put a new song in my mouth, even the praise to our God. Many shall see it and fear, and shall trust in the Lord. Blessed is the man who makes the Lord his trust and doesn't respect the proud, nor such as turn away to lies. Verse 5. Many, Lord, my God, are the wonderful works which you have done, and your thoughts which are towards us. They can't be declared back to you. If I will declare and speak of them, they are more than can be counted. Sacrifice and offering you didn't desire. You have opened my ears. You have not required burnt offerings or sin offerings. Then I said, Behold, I have come. It is written about me in the book in the scroll. I delight to do your will, my God. Yes, your law is within my heart. Verse 9. I have proclaimed glad news of righteousness in the great assembly. Behold, I will not seal my lips. Lord, you know. I have not hidden your righteousness within my heart. I have declared your faithfulness and your salvation. I have not concealed your loving kindness and your truth from the great assembly. Don't withhold your tender mercies from me, Lord. Let your loving kindness and your truth continually preserve me. For innumerable evils have surrounded me. My iniquities have overtaken me, so that I am not able to look up. There are more than the hairs of my head. My heart has failed me. Verse 13. Be pleased, Lord, to deliver me. Hurry to help me, Lord. Let them be disappointed and confounded together who seek after my soul to destroy it. Let them be turned backward and brought to dishonor who delight in my hurt. Let them be desolate by reason of their shame that tell me, Aha, aha. Let those who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. Let such as love your salvation say continually, Let the Lord be exalted. Verse 17. But I am poor and needy. May the Lord think about me. You are my help and my deliverer. Don't delay, my God. Psalms 41. For the chief musician, a psalm by David. Verse 1. Blessed is he who considers the poor. The Lord will deliver him in the day of evil. The Lord will preserve him and keep him alive. He shall be blessed on the earth, and he will not surrender him to the will of his enemies. The Lord will sustain him on his sickbed and restore him from his bed of illness. Verse 4. I said, Lord, have mercy on me. Heal me, for I have sinned against you. My enemies speak evil against me. When will he die, and his name perish? And if he comes to see me, he speaks falsehood. His heart gathers iniquity to itself. When he goes abroad, he tells it. All who hate me whisper together against me. They imagine the worst for me. An evil disease, they say, has afflicted him. Now that he lies, he shall rise up no more. Yes, my own familiar friend, in whom I trusted, who ate bread with me, has lifted up his heel against me. Verse 10. But you, Lord, have mercy on me, and raise me up, that I may repay them. By this I know that you delight in me, because my enemy doesn't triumph over me. As for me, you uphold me in my integrity, and set me in your presence forever. Verse 13. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, from everlasting and to everlasting. Amen and amen. Psalms 42, Book 2. For the chief musician, a contemplation by the sons of Korah. Verse 1. As the deer pants for the water brooks, so my soul pants for you, God. My soul thirsts for you, God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God? My tears have been my food day and night, while they continually ask me, where is your God? These things I remember and pour out my soul within me. How I used to go with the crowd and led them to God's house with the voice of joy and praise, a multitude keeping a holy day. Verse 5. Why are you in despair, my soul? Why are you disturbed within me? Hope in God, for I shall still praise him for the saving help of his presence. My God, my soul is in despair within me. Therefore I remember you from the land of the Jordan, the heights of Hermon, from the hill Mizar. Verse 7. Deep calls to deep at the noise of your waterfalls. All your waves and your billows have swept over me. God will command his loving kindness in the daytime. In the night his song shall be with me, a prayer to God of my life. I will ask God, my rock, why have you forgotten me? Why do I go mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? As with a sword in my bones, my adversaries reproach me, while they continually ask me, where is your God? Why are you in despair, my soul? Why are you disturbed within me? Hope in God, for I shall still praise him, the saving help of my countenance and my God. Psalms 43, verse 1. Vindicate me, God, and plead my cause against an ungodly nation. O deliver me from deceitful and wicked men. For you are the God of my strength. Why have you rejected me? Why do I go mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? O send out your light and your truth. Let them lead me. Let them bring me to your holy hill, to your tents. Then I will go to the altar of God, to God my exceeding joy. I will praise you on the harp, God, my God. Why are you in despair, my soul? Why are you disturbed within me? Hope in God, for I shall still praise him, my Savior, my help, and my God. Psalms 44. For the chief musician, by the sons of Korah, a contemplative psalm. Verse 1. We have heard with our ears, God. Our fathers have told us what work you did in their days. In the days of old, you drove out the nations with your hand, but you planted them. You afflicted the peoples, but you spread them abroad. For they didn't get their land in possession by their own sword, neither did their own arm save them, but your right hand, your arm, and the light of your face, because you were favorable to them. Verse 4. God, you are my king. Command victories for Jacob. Through you, we will push down our adversaries. Through your name, we will tread down those who rise up against us. For I will not trust in my bow, neither will my sword save me. But you have saved us from our adversaries and have shamed those who hate us. In God, we have made our boast all day long. We will give thanks to your name forever. Selah. Verse 9. But now you rejected us and brought us to dishonor, and don't go out with our armies. You make us turn back from the adversary. Those who hate us take plunder for themselves. You have made us like sheep for food, and have scattered us amongst the nations. You sell your people for nothing, and have gained nothing from their sale. You make us a reproach to our neighbors, a scoffing and a derision to those who are around us. You make us a byword amongst the nations, a shaking of the head amongst the people. Verse 15. All day long my dishonor is before me, and shame covers my face. At the taunt of one who reproaches and verbally abuses because of the enemy and the avenger. All this has come on us, yet we haven't forgotten you. We haven't been false to your covenant. Verse 18. Our heart has not turned back, neither have our steps strayed from your path. Though you have crushed us in the haunt of jackals and covered us with the shadow of death. If we have forgotten the name of our God or spread out our hands to a strange God, won't God search this out? For he knows the secrets of the heart. Yes, for your sake we are killed all day long. We are regarded as sheep for the slaughter. Wake up, why do you sleep, Lord? Arise, don't reject us forever. Verse 24. Why do you hide your face and forget our affliction and our oppression? For our soul is bowed down to the dust, our body clings to the earth. Verse 26. Rise up to help us. Redeem us for your loving kindness' sake. Psalms 45. For the chief musician, set to the lilies, a contemplation by the sons of Korah, a wedding song. Verse 1. My heart overflows with a noble theme. I recite my verses for the king. My tongue is like the pen of a skillful writer. You are the most excellent of the sons of men. Grace has anointed your lips. Therefore, God has blessed you forever. Strap your sword on your thigh, O mighty one, in your splendor and your majesty. In your majesty, ride on victoriously on behalf of truth, humility, and righteousness. Let your right hand display awesome deeds. Verse 5. Your arrows are sharp. The nations fall under you, with arrows in the heart of the king's enemies. Your throne, God, is forever and ever. A scepter of equity is the scepter of your kingdom. Verse 7. You have loved righteousness and hated wickedness. Therefore God, your God, has anointed you with the oil of gladness above your fellows. All your garments smell like myrrh, aloes, and cassia. Out of ivory palaces, stringed instruments have made you glad. King's daughters are amongst the honorable women. At your right hand, the queen stands in gold of Ophir. Verse 10. Listen, daughter, consider and turn your ear. Forget your own people and also your father's house. So the king will desire your beauty. Honor him, for he is your Lord. The daughter of Tyre comes with a gift. The richest amongst the people entreat your favor. The princess inside is all glorious. Her clothing is interwoven with gold. Verse 14. She shall be led to the king in embroidered work. The virgins, her companions, who follow her, shall be brought to you. With gladness and rejoicing they shall be led. They shall enter into the king's palace. Verse 16. Your sons will take the place of your fathers. You shall make them princes in all the earth. Verse 17. I will make your name to be remembered in all generations. Therefore the people shall give you thanks forever and ever. Psalms 46. For the chief musician, by the sons of Korah, according to Alamoth. Verse 1. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore we won't be afraid, though the earth changes, though the mountains are shaken into the heart of the seas, though its waters roar and are troubled, though the mountains tremble with swelling. Selah. Verse 4. There is a river, the streams of which make the city of God glad, the holy place of the tents of the Most High. God is within her. She shall not be moved. God will help her at dawn. The nations raged, the kingdoms were moved. He lifted his voice, and the earth melted. The Lord of armies is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. Verse 8. Come see the Lord's works, whose desolations he has made in the earth. What desolations he has made in the earth. He makes wars cease to the end of the earth. He breaks the bow and shatters the spear. He burns the chariots in the fire. Be still and know I am God. I will be exalted amongst the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. Verse 11. The Lord of armies is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Psalms 47. For the chief musician, a psalm by the sons of Korah. Verse 1. Oh, clap your hands, all you nations. Shout to God with the voice of triumph. For the Lord Most High is awesome. He is great king. He is a great king over all the earth. He subdues nations under us and peoples under our feet. Verse 4. He chooses our inheritance for us, the glory of Jacob, whom he loved. Selah. Verse 5. God has gone up with a shout, the Lord with the sound of a trumpet. Sing praises to God, sing praises. Sing praises to the King, sing praises. For God is the King of all the earth. Sing praises with understanding. Verse 8. God reigns over the nation. God sits on his holy throne. The princes of the people are gathered together, the people of God of Abraham. For the shields of the earth belong to God. He is greatly exalted. Psalms 48, a song, a psalm by the sons of Korah. Verse 1. Great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised, in the city of our God, in his holy mountain. Beautiful in elevation, the joy of the whole world is Mount Zion on the north sides, the city of the great King. God has shown himself in her citadels as a refuge. Verse 4. For behold, the kings assembled themselves. They passed by together. They saw it. Then they were amazed. They were dismayed. They hurried away. Trembling took hold of them there. Pain as of a woman in travail. Verse 7. With the east wind you break the ships of Tarshish. As we have heard, so we have seen. In the city of the Lord of armies, in the city of our God, God will establish it forever. Selah. Verse 9. We have thought about your loving kindness, God, in the middle of your temple. As is your name, God, so is your praise to the ends of the earth. Your right hand is full of righteousness. Let Mount Zion be glad. Let the daughters of Judah rejoice before your judgments. Verse 12. Walk about Zion and go around her. Number its towers. Notice her bulwarks. Consider her palaces, that you tell it to the next generation. Verse 14. For this God is our God forever and ever. He will be our guide even to death. Psalms 49. For the chief musician, a psalm by the sons of Korah. Verse 1. Hear this, all you peoples. Listen, all you inhabitants of the world, both low and high, rich and poor together. My mouth will speak words of wisdom. My heart will utter understanding. I will incline my ear to a proverb. I will solve my riddle on the harp. Why should I fear in the days of evil, when iniquity at my heels surrounds me? Those who trust in their wealth and boast in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give God a ransom for him. Verse 8. For the redemption of their life is costly, no payment is ever enough, that he should live on forever, that he should not see corruption. For he sees that wise men die, likewise the fool and the senseless perish, and leave their wealth to others. Verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses will endure forever, and their dwellings places to all generations. They name the lands after themselves. But man, despite his riches, doesn't endure. He is like the animals that perish. This is the destiny of those who are foolish, and of those who approve their sayings. Selah. Verse 14. They are appointed as a flock for Sheol. Death shall be their shepherd. The upright shall have dominion over them in the morning. Their beauty shall decay in Sheol, far from their mansion. But God will redeem my soul from the power of Sheol, for he will receive me. Selah. Verse 16. Don't be afraid when a man is made rich, when the glory of his house is increased. For when he dies, he will carry nothing away. His glory won't descend after him. Though while he lived, he blessed his soul, and men praise you whenever you do well for yourself. He shall go to the generation of his fathers. They shall never see the light. Verse 20. A man who has riches without understanding is like the animals that perish. Psalms 50, a psalm by Asaph. Verse 1. The mighty one, God, the Lord speaks, and calls the earth from sunrise to sunset. Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, God shines out. Our God comes and does not keep silent. A fire devours before him. It is very stormy around him. He calls out to the heaven above, to the earth, that he may judge his people. Gather my saints together to me, those who have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. The heavens shall declare his righteousness, for God himself is judge. Selah. Verse 7. Hear my people, I will speak. Israel, I will testify against you. I am God, your God. I don't rebuke you for your sacrifices. Your burnt offerings are continually before me. I have no need for a bull from your stall, nor male goats from your pens, for every animal of the forest is mine, and the livestock on 1,000 hills. I know all the birds of the mountain. The wild animals of the field are mine. If I were hungry, I would not tell you, for the world is mine, and all that is in it. Will I eat the meat of the bulls, or drink the blood of the goats? Offer to God a sacrifice of thanksgiving. Pay your vows to the Most High. Call on me in the day of trouble. I will deliver you, and you will honor me. Verse 16. But to the wicked God says, what right do you have to declare my statutes? That you have taken my covenant on your lips, since you hate instruction and throw my words behind you. When you saw a thief, you consented with him and have participated with adulterers. You give your mouth to evil, your tongue frames deceit. Verse 20. You sit and speak against your brother. You slander your own mother's son. You have done these things, and I kept silent. You thought I was just like you. I will rebuke you and accuse you in front of your eyes. Now consider this, you who forgot God, lest I tear you into pieces, and there be no one to deliver you. Whoever offers the sacrifices of thanksgiving glorifies me and prepares his way so that I will show God's salvation to him.